It is time once again for another SDG Uncut. Just you and me in the shop making baits together, no editing. Today we're going to make some baits for a free rig. Not going to tell you what bait it is. I think it's kind of a sleeper bait, to be honest with you. It is an epic deal, there's a hint, but shocker, I'm going to make an epic bait. So for those that maybe are not familiar with a free rig, I assume most all of you are, but in the chance that you're not, this is a free rig. Just got one kind of tied up here loose. You've got your hook of choice on the one end. You'll note that I'm using a drop shot hook. I think that's going to be key for the bait that I chose today. I just really think this thing is going to have the right action, going to coast, going to do really well, and the light hook is going to help with that. Up from the hook is a drop shot weight, just like what we made in the last video where we did the jig rigs. Same deal, 1/8 ounce. You can go whatever weights you want, but it just slides back and forth free, right? It's free sliding back and forth. So the idea is that as you toss it out, because of the shape of this weight, it just rockets straight to the ground, straight down, whereas some would say, well, what's the difference between this and an unpegged Texas rig? The Texas rig weight and the shape of it, you have just a little bit of sliding, I guess, to one side or the other. Plus there's more friction in a bullet weight, right? You've got that line going all the way through the weight. This is just going through that little attachment at the top, just that little ring, so it really rockets down and it affords more separation between the bait and the weight. So this goes, boom, hits the ground, and then you've got this beautiful slow fall of the bait, which is why I want to nose hook the one that we're going to use today to further accentuate the slow fall action. So I heard the beep. Let's see how close our plastic is. Show you guys here where we sit. Now I expect to probably have some micro bubbles in here. I mean, yeah, if I'm real, forgot a fan. If I'm real picky about it, I can see some really small micro bubbles. We're not going to worry about that today. This is 361, so I think we are good to go. Start making our color. Before we do that though, we need to get the second cup in the microwave so that it can be warming up while we do this one. All right, so let's do top color first. And I'm thinking like a June bug kind of mix. So I pulled out my favorite pigment for June bug, Black Grape by Lureworks. So I haven't used this in a minute. So let's go with like 15 drops. Eight, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We might need 20. 15 might be okay. I can't remember my preference on it. Yeah, that's still pretty light. Let's add our flake, and then we can always add more pigment if we want to. The flake, traditional, I'm going for a June bug kind of deal, so traditional would be like a green, an emerald green, or something like that. I wanted to try this. Lime, super bright green, as you can see. Not exactly traditional, but we're mixing it up here. This is the 015, the smaller of the two, so let's use 1/16 of that. Smaller particles are going to spread out more in the plastic. Again, we can always add more. Same stuff, only next size up, 35 or 40, whatever it is. We're going to go with a 1/4 teaspoon of that. Get that mixed in. Yeah, there we go. That's looking pretty good so far. I am a big fan, always have been. I started doing it forever ago, can't even remember how long, but when I started making June bug often, I liked just a little tiny bit of gold in mine. So I picked out the Crushed Rupees Gold by 8-Bit Baits. I'm gonna use some of that in there as well. 4 seconds left on our other one. Doing good time. Let's just get a 32nd of a teaspoon. See what that looks like. All right. Zoom you guys back in here. Ooh, a little close there. All right. 32nd of gold crushed rupees. I don't want it to be overpowering. I just want a little kiss. Could use just a little bit more. I used to use just regular gold, like 15 size gold flake for this, and it worked out really well, but I wanted to try the rupees, and I think that is looking really good. Do we need more saturation? Let's do like 3 more drops and call it a day on this one. There we go. So that's what, 18 drops total. Yeah. Nice and rich. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. So I heard the beep like I mentioned on our other one. So let's get that out. I'm actually gonna put this back in the mic so we can warm it up while we're working on our other color. Hopefully we didn't miss our window here to stir this before it cooled off. Yeah, looks like we did. Daggone it. Let me put it in the other mic, and I can just take a minute to clean up around here. It's like 3:45, so we're talking 15 seconds, thereabouts. We'll put this one on 20 seconds to keep it warm, keep it loose. And I'll move all this out of the way. So the belly color, I can't get enough of this clear hollow shift kind of thing with a little bit of black flake in the belly. So yeah, that's what we're doing again with this one. And I think it's gonna look pretty freaking awesome. I picked one out that is doesn't have, at least it didn't anyway, doesn't have like the green tints to it and the coppers. This is actually still needs to go a little bit further. Sorry, too much yapping on my part. But anyway, I picked one out that's got more of like a iridescence, almost like a pinkish, kind of in the neighborhood of purple, but then it's got this gold backing to it. We're gonna bump that up with some gold flake as well. So I think it's gonna look pretty sweet. Go ahead and put that one on for another 10 seconds to keep it warm. And this one now should be ready. Oh yeah, we're good. There we go. Okay, so my hollow shift of choice today, Solar Sugar. And I want 1/8 of a teaspoon of this guy. If we mound it up a little bit, not a big issue. Same micro bubbles on this one, but once you get down to the bottom, or the bottom third, I'd say, of the gallon that you're working with, it's almost inevitable to not get some micro bubbles. I buy that plastic in 5-gallon jugs, mix it up real good, then split it up over 5 1-gallons, and by the time I get about 2/3 of the way through one of the ones that I'm working on, it is always gonna have some micro bubbles, but not the end of the world, far from it. And by the way, sick, right? without any pigment. See that pinkish iridescence on top? So freaking awesome. Black flake, 35, eighth of a teaspoon, to break it up and to give some of that pigment a backer, whereas you could use black flake to do it. See that? See how much more pronounced the iridescence is now that the black flake is in there? That is just so flippin' cool, man. How that happens? No pigment, and you get that kind of reaction, that kind of response. It's just, or effect rather. That is just awesome. And can you see it with the June bug, right? The dark back of the June bug is going to accentuate that even more. Oh, speaking of which, give that another 8 seconds. We're almost ready for it. So this is gold 40. I only want a little bit, just to kind of, I don't know, enhance or beef up the gold aspect of this. So let's go with a 1/16 of a teaspoon. I really don't want the gold flake to drive it as much as the hollow shift itself. Yeah, see, I just kind of random gold flakes in there. That's going to pull in the gold from the top color as well. So it all just comes together. That's the idea anyhow. All right, let's get this ready to go. I have my secret mold of choice here. It's a big one. That should give some of you a clue if you're familiar with epic baits and the relative size of them. Our belly color is 325, exactly right where we want it. Can we get lucky and get a 325 out of this one? 330, that's not bad. Just give it a little stir here to cool it down. If you find yourself needing to get a few degrees off, you stir one way, stir the other. Let me just back you guys up so you can see everything. Yeah, there we go. You stir one way, then you stir the other. You can kind of pick it up and mix it around. There we go, 319. And come on, 320, 319 on this one. This is a symmetric mold, so it's the same on both sides. Don't have to worry about top and bottom with it. Alright, y'all ready to shoot this? Should be about 315 by the time we get it injected, or get it sucked in. Cold injector, cold mold, cold everything. So it's gonna chill out pretty quick. Important to purge these two so they're coming out even. There we go, get them both coming out. And this mold is ribbed, so you want to shoot it very slow. Like when you think it's too slow, you need to slow down. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Hopefully though, because it was a little on the colder side, hopefully we didn't shoot it oddly enough too slow, so that the end of it that gets thin didn't fill out. Guess we'll find out together. Alright, make sure we watch that, let it drink, and we'll get that cooled off. So I'll move it over here. I wanted to show you guys the inside of the blending block. I know that that's always a favorite, and it's a good use of our time while we get things cleaned off, or while we wait for it to cool off rather. Plus it helps me in my OCD that I don't have to clean up every single little thing in order to do that. Alright, that looks good. These guys are done. Don't need them anymore. We'll get this, actually, you want to see the purge pile? I was going to move it, but I'll show it to you. Look at that. Oh, And that is without that dark backer being on the back side of the hollow shift. I think that's where the magic happens with this stuff, right? Because you get that black backing on the hollow shift, just like if you were to drop a couple of drops of black in it and it brings it to life. I think it does the same thing with one, the black flake, or maybe even other dark colored flakes, but certainly black, and two, a dark backing. It just, I don't know, it just does beautiful things. It shows that color off against the black, or against the dark back end, and it's just gorgeous. So let's open this guy up. There we go. Yeah, maybe 20. I don't know. We'll have to see. Lighting's gonna be weird on me. There you go. You can kind of see it there. So that's one thing though. Let's pull these out. Get maybe a little bit of a preview. So there it is, side by side. See this iridescence in there? And then as you turn it, you get more of the, I see gold there. I see a little bit of green. Maybe that's from the green flake coming out, or the hollow shift in general. I don't know. Don't know why I had it all the way up here. Yeah, see that pink right there? That iridescence behind it? That's what I'm hoping for, only exaggerated because it's in the mold, not just a couple of runners side by side. So let's see. Are we good? And yes, I think we are. Get my scissors here and cut the screw off. And let's bring you guys up so you can see. Alright. So the free rig, from what I understand of it, I've just started to fish with it. Used this bait, caught fish on it first time I went out. That's why we're doing it. Not this color, but this bait. So the free rig excels in a couple different ways. You can use creature baits on it and different things that have like appendages that will slow the fall. A lot of guys will use bellows gills or flat shad type. I think it's called a bull shad or something like that. Really flat bait, so that as that weight drops and it just kind of glides and does its thing all the way down. You can do a fluke or a jerk bait on it. This guy is flat, thin, ribbed, and it's got wide appendages. Let's check it out. It filled out. Excellent. Oh yeah. The Drax. 4-inch. It also comes in 5 if you want it to be a bit bigger. Check that out. Look at all that. Oh no, no. Man, my camera doesn't. It's all the shininess. Ah! Anyway, all that pink iridescence there, and you can see some of the purple in the appendages and the claws. Oh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. Here we go. Yes. Oh yeah. Heck yes. That is so sick. Look at that. Get it close. So we could have gone extra. We probably could have gone another 2, maybe even 3 or 4, 20, 25 drops even. But look, clear belly, just like our jig rig video, the one earlier this week. And you start turning it, looks like a triple. So sick. And then that gorgeous iridescent solar sugar. I see some of the gold popping through, not just the gold flake, but the gold in the hollow shift itself coming through. And you can see it when you have that dark backing. Man, so cool. And then it goes back away, but it still looks like a triple. Golly. And then the appendages. Let's see what it looks like on this side. Yeah. Oh, look at the pink on the appendages. Wow. That's flipping cool. purple to that iridescent pink. And I love the black flake. It just breaks it up so well. Man alive, look at that. So cool. So flippin' cool. I will continue to use this hollow shift this way. I mean, we've barely scratched the surface. This is some of the clear powders like the Aurora line. There's a whole other section like Bespin and Endor that we used last time. I don't know if they would function the same way, but I know that on their own, they're all just a little bit translucent, so there's potential in all of those. But dog biscuit, these were a success. Can't wait to fish them on a free rig. Definitely a sleeper bait for the free rig. You can imagine how flat and just how slow this thing's gonna undulate with that big wide tail. I think if you're into the free rig or you wanna try it, and you want a sweet bait, this might be the one for you. It certainly is for me. So thanks for coming along with me on this SDG Uncut. It was a success. Hope you enjoyed it. And until the next time, see you guys in the shop.